Okay, we talk later. Om Agyana Timaranda Sya Kananjana Salakaya Sakshu Militanyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha. We are reading from the Golden Volcano of Divine Love by Srila Bhakti Rakaksidhadev Goswami Maharaj. And we are on chapter A Mysterious Incarnation. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he went to live in Jagannath Puri. There he converted the greatest scholar of the day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. After meeting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great scholar Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya questioned his brother-in-law Gopinath Acharya about the avatar of the present age Kali Yuga. Gopinath had been living in Navadvip and he was a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In his own way, Sarvabhauma began to praise Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a beautiful man and a great scholar. I have great attraction for him, he said, but I don't think it wise that at such a young age he has taken sannyas, the renounced order of life. He has such a long life ahead of him. How will he be able to keep up the dignity of the life of a sannyasi? A life of renunciation. I cannot sit by and do nothing. I like this boy very much. I shall have to help him as a guardian, so that he may not lose his prestige by giving up sannyas. Attracted by the fascination of worldly pleasures, Gopinath could not tolerate all this guardianship advice. He told Sarvabhauma, "This young man, who is very beautiful, charming and scholarly, has attracted your attention, and you want to become his guardian to keep up the purity of his life? Do you think you will have to help him? What do you mean by saying all these things? Don't you know that he is really the incarnation of Godhead for this age? He is the avatar for Kali Yuga. He inaugurated the Yuga Dharma of Nama Sankirtan in Navadvip, and his appearance is mentioned in the scriptures." Sarvabhauma replied, No, you are not talking to an ordinary man. Don't think that you can say whatever you like, and I will accept it. I'm a hard nut to crack. What are you saying? There is no Kali Yuga avatar. One of the names of Vishnu mentioned in the Vishnu Sahasranam in the Mahabharata is Triyuga, the Lord who appears only in 3 ages. That means that the Lord has no incarnation in Kali Yuga except Kalki, who is a pastime incarnation and not the Yuga avatar, the incarnation for the age. Gopinath replied, "You think yourself so learned, but although you have studied all the scriptures and are so proud of your learning, the Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam are the main scriptures of the followers of eternal religious principles and still have no particular knowledge about that. Not man, but God." At that time, Gopinath Acharya quoted passages from the Srimad Bhagavatam and Mahabharata. Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Suvarna Varna Hemango. In this way he pressed his point. Here we find the direct avatar for the age of Kali. He has appeared to spread Nama Sankirtan. He is not a man, but the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. Sarvabhauma said, No, go away, mind your own business. Don't think that you can instruct me. And in this way they argued. Later Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "I would like to teach you Vedanta philosophy, so that you can keep up the standard of your renunciation. I will teach you that this world is nothing, so that you never feel any charm to again enter into mundane life." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yes, you are my guardian. Whatever you say, I must do. I will come and learn Vedanta philosophy from you at whatever time is suitable for you. Then Gopinathacharya told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma is saying this because he doesn't know your real identity. Sriman Mahaprabhu replied, why are you speaking against him? He is my guardian. He was my father's classmate, so he has great affection for me. It is out of affection that he poses himself as my guardian and looks after my welfare. I don't find any fault in that. 7 days of silence. In a few days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to hear Vedanta from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and as Sarvabhauma would speak, he would remain silent, like a good boy, as if he were hearing with a submissive attitude. But after he had teaching Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 7 days, Sarvabhauma had some doubt in his mind. He thought, what is the matter? What is the matter? I'm such a great scholar in Vedanta and logic, and I'm trying my best with all my intelligence to put before him the inner meaning of Vedanta, but I draw no response from him. He is only quietly attending my discourse as if he is deaf and dumb. And I can say that he doesn't understand me, for he has a sharp intellect. And I cannot say that he doesn't understand me, for he has a sharp intellect. I'm sure of this, but still he gives no appreciation, no response whatever. He raises no question and gives no indication whether he understands it or not. Nothing of the kind. Then what am I doing? He could not keep to himself any longer. He put the question straight to the Lord. For more than 7 days, I have been explaining the inner meaning of the Vedanta to you. Many sannyasis come to me to learn about Vedanta, but you don't have any question about my talk, my explanation. You maintain a strange and wonderful silence. What is the reason? Atheistic scholarship. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed himself. He said, Sarvabhauma, what you explain is on the basis of Shankara's philosophy. But I heard that it was by the order of the Lord that Shankaracharya concealed the real purpose of Vedanta. Its author, Vyasadeva, is a completely theistic person, and he has prepared this Vedanta. But what you say is all based on atheistic scholarship. Sarvabhauma was a very intelligent man. He realized in a very gentle way. He wants to tell me that what I'm explaining is all bogus. I'm laboring diligently to explain Vedanta to my utmost capacity for the last 7 days, and now he shows his true colors and says that what I'm explaining is all false. What is he saying? Still, in a gentlemanly way, Sarvabhauma with some hesitation asked Sriman Mahaprabhu, you say that what I have been explaining for the last 7 days is also unsubstantial and unreal. Then you give the proper meaning. If this is all improper and false, then what is the real meaning of Vedanta? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu humbly replied, if you order me to explain Vedanta, I will try. The sutras or codes of Vedanta are lustrous in themselves. They are self-evident. The proper reading of the sutras leads towards Parabrahman Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began with this introduction. He said that Srimad Bhagavatam is the real explanation and commentary on Vedanta. It is mentioned in the Garuda Purana. Srimad Bhagavatam represents the real purport of Vedanta Sutra, and although it is very difficult to draw out the real purpose of the 100,000 verse epic Mahabharata, the great history of the world, Srimad Bhagavatam has come to give its real meaning. The mother of all Vedic knowledge is the Gayatri mantra. Srimad Bhagavatam gives the gist of the Gayatri in a very full-fledged way, and the supplementary truth of the Vedas are also found within Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, Vedanta must be explained in the line of the truth which has been expressed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Only then can the real meaning be understood, the aspiration of liberated souls. When Srimad Mahaprabhu mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam, Sarvabhauma, being a learned Pandit, could not deny its validity. He said, yes, I also like Srimad Bhagavatam, and I especially like this one very beautiful verse. At that time, Sarvabhauma, to regain lost prestige, began to explain the Atmarama verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Even the liberated souls, fully satisfied in the self, are irresistibly attracted by the super excellent qualities of Krishna and surrender to him with unalloyed devotion. Sarvabhauma explained this verse in 9 different ways, while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as before, sat silently hearing. After he had finished his explanation, Sarvabhauma thought that he had regained his position to a certain extent. Still, as the courtesy, he asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Are you satisfied with this explanation? If you can give any more light to this verse, I will listen to that." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, "If you order me, I may try." Then he gave 18 different types of explanation of that verse, leaving aside the 9 already given by Sarvabhauma. At that time, while listening to the explanation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma gradually saw that he was losing his position. His pride was finished. Astounded, he thought, "This youth, this young boy, is not an ordinary person. No ordinary intellect can refute my arguments." Leaving aside all of my attempts to explain this verse, he gave 18 wonderful explanations of this particular verse. What is this? Such consistent, irresistible, devotional, and beautiful explanations are coming, superseding all those that with great energy and effort I explained. No human being can surpass my explanations. No human intellect can cross mine. This is a different sort of explanation. It is all-encompassing, and it is coming from this young boy. What is this? Mystic revelation. Gradually he lost his faith in himself and became baffled. He recalled how Gopinath Acharya had said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not a human being, and thought, "It is not possible for a human to explain things in this way. It is something supernatural." Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed to Sarvabhauma his spiritual position as Narayan and Krishna combined. In a trance, Sarvabhauma saw all these things and fell at the Lord's feet and almost completely lost consciousness. When he arose from this trance, he found that the boy still sitting there, like a student with great humility. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "May I go far today? May I go for today?" Sarvabhauma said, "Yes, you may go now." The Lord went away and Sarvabhauma remained there. After some time he recovered and began to think, "What have I seen? 4-handed Narayan, then Krishna playing the flute. I was not defeated by a man. That is my solace." Sarvabhauma became a changed man and composed 2 verses. "I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is an ocean of mercy. He is the original personality of Godhead, Krishna, and has descended to teach us the real meaning of knowledge, renunciation, and devotion to him. Let the honeybee of my mind dive deep into the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. He has appeared to revive the path of unalloyed devotion, which has almost become lost to the influence of time. A taste supreme. These two verses were composed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, expressing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord himself. The next day, early in the morning, Sriman Mahaprabhu with some prasadam from the Jagannath temple ran to Sarvabhauma while he was still in bed. He cried in a loud voice, "Sarvabhauma, how wonderful is this prasadam! It has a very extraordinary taste. Please take it. I have come for you with this prasadam." Sarvabhauma arose from bed as Mahaprabhu offered him the prasadam, and he could not but accept it without cleansing his mouth. Ordinarily, a Brahmana Pandit early in the morning will first cleanse his mouth, bathe, offer different prayers, and only then take prasadam. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came and offered it to him with his own hand, what could Sarvabhauma do? He had to accept that prasadam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, "We have previously experienced the taste of so many things, like ghee, rice, sweets, and spices. We all know what flavors they have, but this is wonderful. This has touched the lips of Krishna himself. It is extraordinarily wonderful and tasteful." Then Sarvabhauma eagerly ate that prasadam and began uttering some mantras. One should take the Mahaprasadam of Sri Krishna as soon as one receives it, without consideration of time or place, even though it may be dried up, stale, or brought from a distant country. The prasadam of Sri Krishna is to be taken by gentlemen as soon as it is received, without hesitation. There are no regulative principles concerning time and place. This is the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Today I have conquered the world. He took prasadam, and the Lord and the servant embraced one another and began to dance in ecstasy. As they danced, the symptoms of ecstasy appeared in both of them. They perspired, trembled, and shed tears. Absorbed in ecstatic love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Today I have conquered the whole world, for I have converted a scholar like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Now he has so much faith in Mahaprasadam that without performing any Vedic ritual, he took the prasadam. My mission is successful." From that day on, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya knew nothing but the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and could only explain the scriptures with the conclusions of devotion. Seeing that Sarvabhauma had become a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gopinath Acharya began to clap with his hands and dance. He said, "Well, Sarvabhauma, what do you think now?" Sarvabhauma replied, "Gopinath, you are my real friend, for it is by your grace that I received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Then a new chapter starts, Friend of the Fallen, and we can read tomorrow. Yeah? Okay. Jai, Golden Volcano of Divine Love, Ki Jai. His Divine Grace, Swami Bhakti Rakak Siddhadev Goswami, Ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev. Would you like to sing, please?
About Mahaprabhu was sitting silently without asking any questions.
What do you say?
Mahaprabhu was sitting quietly for 7 days without asking any questions. I mean, if our nature, someone's nature is naturally inquisitive and curious, how is it possible to switch that off or imitate something that you're not? Is that possible? I mean, is there something we can learn from this example of Mahaprabhu?
We can learn everything if we want that. Sometimes we can, just be quiet and not asking. And sometimes it's also like we can be inquisitive and we can, that is good, but sometimes also the answers come via the books or via something that you have not inquired or asked. So in many ways, or the guru inside can give you some explanation. So it is not all the time that you have to be on top of what comes in your mind that you have to ask. It will come. Things will also reveal in yourself inside by service, by chanting. So it's not always like that by questions the answers are being given. That's my explanation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard a similar answer that through Guru, Sadhu, Sastra, the answers reveal themselves, and maybe when the Guru isn't around, we're looking for a Sadhu, and then when we find a Sadhu, we don't want to maybe overwhelm them with too many questions or too many inquiries.
Exactly.
So
inquiry is good, but sometimes just to let the mind go and inquiry, it will also come via other sources or other directions will be revealed. And you can ask yourself also, maybe I know already the answer, right? Sometimes that is already.
why is, perhaps maybe there's a need for confirmation?
Say that again?
Perhaps there's, even though we may know the answer or have an idea, but maybe we're looking for confirmation from an authority figure. I mean, what would you say about that? That the nervous system or a soul needs that validation or confirmation from somebody who's more experienced in the scriptures or something like that. I mean, is that like natural to seek that confirmation and approval and validation from an authoritative source, especially as that practitioner who's not as experienced as somebody else who is more experienced?
Yeah, we get so much information from all sides, what we said before. Like, we can talk with the devotees and, you know, in your heart you will feel, oh, that is right. I feel that also that way. So, and via reading, Gurudev always said, Srila Govinda Maharaj, it's important to read the books, you know. And then all the answers will come also via reading the books. That will calm your inquisitiveness. And also by chanting, by serving, things will come. The mind doesn't have to be all the time so active in inquisitiveness. Like, it will come via different channels. Yes, okay.
Yeah, one last theory is that perhaps maybe the nature of the inquisitive soul and curious soul, apart from the confirmation, the approval and validation, is also to seek some connection through inquiry and connection and submissiveness. There's some sort of connection through that. It's a way to connect with another soul through Krishna conscious questions and inquiries.
That's good, but
like a little bit of attention, some approval, some validation, so that there's a combination of payoffs and benefits for this inquiry, even though deep down the answer will reveal itself through Guru, Sadhu, Sastra, but yeah, just that combination of variables, approval, validation, confirmation, connection, some exchange, some type of attention and submissiveness like that, to not think we know everything, to look outside sometimes.
That's good, but we learn also everything in measurement, not too much, Keep it in measurement. If you also get some, some indication that it is too much, no, you adjust a little bit. In that way, that's with everything. But, it's also like coming from the mind. So how much is the mind like involved in not really inquiring what is, in that moment very accurate or substantial or needed, You can shift also some importance of the, of the inquiry. And, to make connection is not only with inquiry, it's by serving, by, other things. Main thing is that you have some measurement, that it's not over the top here, not over, and still genuine your request. That's all.
Just one last thing came to mind is that some devotee described it as a form of entertainment. So it's like, the neurons, the neural pathways are firing off, the dopamine, like chemicals and hormones are getting stimulated in the brain. So it's like some form of entertainment, a subtle form of sense enjoyment.
Exactly, so that you have to watch out for, that it is genuine. That it is that really what I want to know? Is this something what is urgent in my practicing life, or is it just some form of entertainment, of what you say?
A subtle form of sense enjoyment. Get some pleasure and satisfaction of just that curiosity, that inquisitiveness, because it's never ending.
Exactly.
Especially when you're in the position of, I don't know anything, and looking for that to authority figures for approval, confirmation, validation, and
you have to always watch in yourself if it is honest, or is it for attention, Guru Maharaj, I remember Guru Maharaj when everybody came to Guru Maharaj, also asking questions. Of course, very important questions. But if it became too much, Guru Maharaj said, I'm not an information office, Yeah. It has to come with some that the other also feels, hey, it's not question, like a train going on. But that there is something real genuine, real honest in it. But definitely we get the answers via so many other things, by so many other practices. Reading is very important. Reading the books. Srila Govinda Maharaj always emphasized that. We have to read the books from Srila Guru Maharaj. Then so many questions will be fulfilled, we will be satisfied.
Or in the association with the devotees, some enlightenment sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You want to sing Hari Araya?
Sí, ¿por qué? Es la renca, ¿no? Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govindaram Shri Madhusudana.
Gopala Govindaram Sri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunatha.
Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunatha.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunatha.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunatha.
Jai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana.
Jai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana.
Jaha Hoite Vignana Shavishta Purana.
Jahoite Vignana Savita Purana.
Jai Gosai Jara Muhitara Dasa.
Jai Gosai Murita Dasa.
Dasa Vara Parayenu Mora Panchagrasa.
Dasa Vara Parayenu Mora Panchagrasa.
Dadera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivasa.
Dandela Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivasa.
Janane Janame Mora Eya Vilasa.
Janame Janame Mora Eya Vilasa.
Jai Gosai Jave Braje Koilabasa.
Jai Gosai Jave Braja Koilabasa.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Purila Prakasha.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Purila Prakasha.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parena Chariyamana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parena Chariyamana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Para Padma Koriyasha.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Padma Koriyasha.
Harinam Sankirtana Kore Narottama.
Harinam Sankirtana Kore Narottama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari
Sisi Guru Kuranga Sundar Radha Kirudai Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Sila Bhakti Nimanacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Sila Bhakti Sundar Golina Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Sila Bhakti Rakak Sita Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Rupanuka Guru Bhaka Ki Jai. Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Vishwafarena Sila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Sri Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Sapashara Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Sapashara Sri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Kiri Govardhana Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Yamuna Chu Ki Jai. Prantaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Sri Navadvitam Ki Jai. Sri Mayapurdam Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavanam Ki Jai. Sri Purushottamadam Ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat East Lowland Chapter Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat West Lowland Chapter Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Glories to the world devotees Ki Jai. Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.
Sachi Devi Ki
Devotees Ki Jai.